Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Ezar Dwi Aryani. I'm from class 1E and my name is 2408015156. And so today I will discuss one of the figures in psychology, namely is Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow was one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century. Among his many contributions to psychology were his advancement to the field of humanistic psychology and his development of the hierarchy of needs. Maslow's career in psychology greatly predated the modern positive psychology movement. Yet the field as we know it would likely look very different were it not for him. Abraham Maslow life. Abraham Maslow was born in New York in 1908. He was the son of Prussian Jewish parents who, like many others at the time, immigrated from Eastern Europe to a better future for the family. Throughout various interviews, Maslow described himself as neurotic, shy, lonely, and self-reflective throughout his teens and 20s. Maslow also did not enjoy being in the family home, so he spent much of his time at the library, where he developed his academic gift. Consequently, Maslow later attributed his interest in self-actualization and the optimization of the human experience to his timid nature and the isolation it caused. Education and career. Abraham Maslow. After attending public school in a working-class neighborhood in New York, Maslow attended the University of Wisconsin to study psychology. While Maslow ultimately pivoted from behaviorism, he was observed to have remained staunchly loyal to the principle of positivism throughout all stages of his education and career, which are at the foundation of this branch of psychology. According to this philosophy, only that which is scientifically variable or can be shown using logical or mathematical proof is considered valid. As such, Maslow was a firm believer in the power of empirical data and measurability for forwarding human knowledge. He was known to have resisted the interest in mysticism that dominated in the 1960s, preferring instead to study business and entrepreneurship. Maslow eventually studied Gestalt psychology at the New School for Social Research in New York. He later joined the faculty of Brooklyn College and rose to become head of the psychology department at Brandeis University in Waltham, where he remained until 1969. During his career, Maslow co-founded the Journal of Humanistic Psychology in 1961 and the Journal of Transpersonal Psychology in 1969. Today, both journals are highly cited. We respected outlets in their field, serving as a tribute to Maslow's legacy in the field of psychology. Maslow's contribution to humanistic psychology. Soon after Maslow began his career, he grew frustrated with the two dominant forces of psychology at the time, psychoanalysis and behavioral psychology. Humanistic psychology gained influence in the mid-20th century for its focus on individuals' innate drive to self-actualize, express oneself, and achieve their full potential. At the core of the humanistic psychology movement was the idea from Gestalt psychology that human beings are more than just be sum of their parts, and that spiritual aspiration is a fundamental part of one's psyche. Maslow himself was known to have been a big believer in this view. He was widely known for his optimism throughout his research. Further, his works were some of the first to deviate from psychology dominant, focus on pathology, and instead explore what it takes for humans to reach their full potential. A key reason why Maslow's work triggered a movement is owed to the way he positioned the role of human unconsciousness. Like Freud, a proponent of the dominant psychoanalytic approach at the time, Maslow acknowledged the presence of the human unconsciousness. However, Maslow argued people are actually aware of their own motivation and drive in an ongoing pursuit of self-understanding and self-acceptance. This idea were ultimately reflected in his semifinal works on self-actualization and his hierarchy of human needs. Maslow hierarchy of needs. In 1943, Maslow published the epoch-making article of his career, A Theory of Human Motivation, which appeared in the journal Motivation and Personality. In the paper, Maslow argued that the fundamental desires of human beings are similar despite the multitude of consciousness desires. According to the theory, humans possess higher and lower order needs, which are arranged in a hierarchy. These needs are first, psychological needs; second, safety; third, belongingness and love; and fourth, esteem; and last, self-actualization. In his article, Maslow described these needs are being arranged in a hierarchy of prepotency. In other words, the first level of needs are the most important and will monopolize consciousness until they are addressed. Once one level of needs is taken care of, the mind moves of the next level, and so on until self-actualization is reached. Level of Maslow hierarchy. Let's inspect each of the levels in Maslow hierarchy. At the bottom of the hierarchy are psychological needs, which are considered universal. Among the psychological needs are water, food, sleep, health, clothes, and shelter. That needs position at the bottom of the pyramid signifies they are fundamental to human well-being and will always take priority over others' needs. Next in the hierarchy are safety needs. If a person does not feel safe in their environment, they are unlikely to guide attention toward trying to meet higher others' needs. In particular, safety needs include personal and emotional security, financial security, and well-being. Third in the hierarchy is the need for love and belonging through family, connection, friendship, and intimacy. Humans are wired for connection, meaning that we seek acceptance and support from others, either one-on-one or in groups such as club, professional organization, or online communities. In the absence of this connection, we fall susceptible to states of ill-being such as clinical depression. The fourth level of the hierarchy is esteem needs. According to Maslow, there are two subtypes of esteem. The first is esteem reflected in others' perception of us. This is esteem in the form of prestige, status, recognition, attention, appreciation, or admiration. The second form of esteem is rooted in a desire for confidence, strength, independence, and the ability to achieve. Further, Maslow notes that when our esteem needs are thwarted, feelings of inferiority, weakness, or helplessness are likely to arise. At the top of Maslow hierarchy is self-actualization. According to Maslow, humans will only seek the satisfaction of the need following the satisfaction of all the lower order needs. Example of self-actualization needs include the acquisition of a romantic partner, examples of self-actualization needs include the romantic partner, parenting, the utilization and development of one's talents and abilities, and goal pursuit. The impact of World War II. With the onset of World War II, Maslow's intellectual focus is reported to have changed, and this was when his work began to shift the landscape of the psychology field. At the time, Maslow was 33 years old and the father of two children. In his writings, he lamented that the US forces did not understand the German opposition and felt that the field of psychology could help facilitate understanding and restore peace to the world. Therefore, given the horrors of the war, Maslow conducted his research with a renewed sense of urgency. This led to his famous work on the concept of self-actualization and the introduction of this semi-final hierarchy of needs in the mid-1940s. So, what does Abraham Maslow have to do with positive psychology? According to humanistic psychologist Nelson Good, the recent positive psychology movement focused on themes addressed by Maslow over 50 years ago. Good also believed that Maslow would encourage the scholarly approach positive psychology uses for studying topics such as happiness, flow, courage, hope, and optimism, responsibility, and civility. More than anything, both Maslow and proponents of positive psychology are driven by the idea that traditional psychology has abandoned studying the entire human experience in favor of focusing on mental illness. Indeed, Maslow held a conviction that none of the available psychological theories and approaches to studying the human mind did justice to the healthy human beings functioning modes of living or goals. To proponents of positive psychology, this reasoning should sound familiar. In fact, Maslow even used the term positive psychology to revert to his brand of humanistic psychology, though modern positive psychologists like Martin Seligman claim that humanistic psychology lacks adequate empirical validation. At the end of the day, both proponents of positive psychology and Maslow believe that humanity is more than the sum of its parts, and especially more than its illness or deficiencies. To a positive psychologist, optimizing the life and well-being of a healthy person is just as important as normalizing the life of a person who is sick, and Abraham Maslow helped legitimize this idea within the field of psychology. That's all from me, more or less sorry. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.